Hello everyone and welcome back to a math lesson from Mrs. Helow. Today we are starting a new unit which is super exciting, and this will last us for quite some time, maybe even all the way till the end of school, this unit. And it is all about measurement. Now in measurement there's two different types of measurement. There's the customary units and then there's the metric units. So all this week we're going to be learning the customary units. So I'm on the page in my math journal right after the finding unknown measures. So this is my page 67. And I'm going to write down customary units of length. Go ahead and put that in your index as well. Customary units of length. Now how we're going to do this is we're going to first do a little chart that I like to do and just kind of set up the lesson for us. And then we're going to do about 3 or so examples. We're also going to write some conversion. Okay, the first thing that we need to know is we actually know this already. We use it every single day, even if you didn't know that you were using customary units. Customary units, I'm going to skip about 2 lines here, starts with inches. We all know what an inch looks like because we've all used a ruler before. After that, we go to feet. After that, we go to yards. And then we go to one that we don't use quite as much this year, but miles. So all of these are going to be your customary units of length. And notice that I left spaces in between all of them. The first thing I want you to do is just box all of them. Put a little box around them just so our chart flows nicely. This chart is going to be something where you can go back in your math journal throughout this entire unit and use this chart, and it will really, really help you. Okay, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to go from small to big. And when you're going from small to big and you're converting, and this is going to make more sense when we do examples, but you're going to do a big loop. And I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So I'm going to write just divided by 12. Then I'm going to do another big loop, and I can ask myself, well, how many feet are in 1 yard? And it's going to be 3, so I'm going to divide by 3 here. Now this one we don't use as much, but it's just nice to know. In a mile, there are actually 1,760. So I'm going to do divided by 1,760. Again, we won't really use this one, but it's just a nice number to know. Now, if I'm going from miles to yards, so I'm going to draw my arrow now going to the yards, I'm going to multiply this same number, 1,760. Yards to feet, I'm going to multiply this same number, so 3. And then feet to inches, I'm going to multiply this same number, which is 12. Okay, so I'm going to pause here, and if you need to pause the video to get this chart written down correctly, please do that. This is super important that you do this correctly. Okay, let's do some examples. Example 1. If I say, well, you have 3 feet, and this is the abbreviation for feet, so 3 feet is going to equal how many inches? So I have to think of my chart here. Okay, I'm not going inches to feet. I'm trying to go from feet to inches. So I need to follow this arrow. And I'm going to do times 12 because I know there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So I'm going to do 3 times 12. And when I do 3 times 12, I get 36. So there are 36 inches in 3 feet. Okay, example 2. 27 feet equals blank yards, and that's the abbreviation for yards, YD. So 27 feet equals something yards. Let's go to my chart. Feet to yards. look where you're going. You have to follow the arrow. You have to divide this one by 3. So 27 divided by 3. And I know what 27 divided by 3 is. That's going to give me 9 yards. I'm going to give you a pretty tricky one for the next one because you're going to have to think about this. Example 3. 4 yards equals blank inches. Okay, here's why this one's a little tricky. Because yards and inches are actually 2 jumps away from each other. It's not just one jump, is it? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the yards into feet and then the feet into inches. So yards to feet, I have to do times 3. So let's do times 3. And I know that 4 yards equals 12 feet, which is really good to know, but I'm not trying to do feet, I'm trying to do inches. So from feet to inches, I now have to multiply times 12. And if you know your 12's multiplication facts, which we should know by now, 12 times 12 is 144. So 4 yards is actually 144 inches. And so I'm going to do in a little bubble here. May have to do more than one jump. And when I say jump, I mean moving from one spot in the chart, to another spot in the chart. For example, yards to inches or inches to yards or anything like that. Okay, again, we're not really going to use miles here, but you do need to know that miles is a customary unit of length. Length is just going to measure how long something is. One more thing that we're going to write down is our little conversion chart at the bottom of the page. So I know, and we already kind of wrote this down, but 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. I know that. Another thing I know is that 1 yard equals 3 feet. Another thing that I know is 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. So that'll just be good for you to know. So go ahead and get that written down as well. Okay, the next thing we're going to do for this lesson is I want you to get your textbook out to page 649. And do not put this away. All I'm going to do is I'm going to move this off to the side a little bit and then put my book right here. So I'm on page 649. Now, we're going to go through some of these together, but I am going to use my chart, which is why I'm not putting it completely away. So the first one, I'm just going to do number 1 with you, just so we can see what this means. 1 yard is blank times as long as blank foot. So I know that we wrote this down already, right? That 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So this is going to be 1 foot, this is going to be 1 foot, and this is going to be 1 foot. So 1 yard is 3 times as long as 1 foot. That's all that chart means. 1 yard is 3 times as long as 1 foot. Okay, let's do 2, 3, and 4 together. So 2 feet equals blank inches. When I'm going from feet to inches, I go this way because I follow my arrow and I do times 12. So 2 feet times 12 is going to equal how many inches? 24 inches. Okay, 3 yards equals blank feet, so I'm going from yards to feet. Let's go to my chart. Yards to feet, I do times 3. So I'm going to write times 3 here. And I know 3 yards equals 3 times 3 is 9. 9 feet. Okay, the next thing is 7 yards equals blank feet. Okay, same thing, yards to feet. Don't get confused and go this way because that's not what I'm doing. I'm not going from feet to yards. I'm going from yards to feet, and that is times 3. So I have 7 times 3 is 21 feet. Okay. Now I am going to jump down a little bit. You can do these for practice if you want, but let's go to these right here with the comparison. And when you're comparing, it's always easier to go to the smaller amount because you can multiply. So if I'm going from foot and inches, I know that foot is going to be my bigger of the measurements. Inches is going to be smaller. So let's do 1 foot is going to be 12 inches. So now I can see, well, what's bigger, 12 inches or 13 inches? 13 inches is going to be bigger. Same thing here, yards and feet. Let's first see which one is smaller. Feet is going to be smaller. So let's make the one in yards into feet. So we have 2 yards, 2 times 3 is going to equal 6 feet. And I know now 6 feet and 6 feet are equal. Okay, 6 feet and 60 inches. I know obviously inches are going to be smaller than feet. So we're going to convert, meaning change, this feet to inches. And how I do that is times 12. So I know this is 72 inches and 60 inches. So 72 is going to be biggest. Okay, for your homework for today and what you're going to upload to Schoology, I want you to go to page 651 right here. And I just want you to practice this. So you're actually going to do all of these 2 through 10. 2 through 10. Okay? And then on the back, I want you to do numbers 1, 2, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 4, and 5. And when you're done with that, you can upload it to Schoology, and that way we can continue on with the next lesson, which is more customary units. As always, I miss you, and I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Bye.